Hey guys, and welcome. It's Behind the Bunker. It's Monday night. How are you, ladies and gentlemen? Thanks for tuning in. For all of you that are new to the program, and I know there's a lot of you because I saw the podcast numbers this week, and holy crap! I don't know where all you guys are coming from, but nice to see you guys. My name is Todd Ensich, as you know, if you've been listening, and with me I have several other friends in the studio. I have Joe Kimson from Flaggers Paintball.
Greetings and thanks for tuning in to Beautiful Behind the Bunker. Tonight, Monday, we have officially moved our paintball field off the former location at Binghamton's in Kitchener, and it is just sitting in limbo land until something happens. So yeah, thanks for tuning in and watching Behind the Bunker.
Joe be limbo, Joe be quick.
Joe be quick, Joe underneath the bunker quick.
Don't light a candlestick, yeah. And we have Gavin Sharma from TerraTech Industries.
Speaking of quick, yes, Gavin Sharma's here from TerraTech Industries, and we're so glad, folks, that you have joined us this evening. And remember, regardless of what media platform you're watching, either the YouTube or the Facebook, we're monitoring the chat. So if you have something to contribute to the show, please type it in there. We'll try to get to it. And if it's witty, something worthy of mentioning, we'll do it on the show. So thanks for joining us. Make sure you hit like, share, or whatever you have to do on the other platforms to let people know what you're doing on Monday night.
Yeah. Gavin, a little hot, so maybe just... And Josh, Zuby Zabrickus.
Yeah, buddy. I am here as well.
And your microphone sounds crisp. It's working well tonight.
That's all I got. Is it?
It is, actually.
Am I sharper than Gavin or no?
No, you're crisp.
That's all. Okay, that's all that matters.
I believe the phrase that he used for me was hot. I am hot. And hopefully that's a little bit better.
Very good. You're hot, Josh is crisp, and Joe is dangly.
That's nice. Like a participle.
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. As I mentioned at the top of the hour, or the top of the show, guys, our podcast numbers, I don't know what the heck is going on, but we had a huge increase in listenership over the last 3 weeks. Enough so that I was, some podcast hosting company reached out and shared a way to figure out our rankings. And they said, congratulations, Behind the Bunker podcast is now ranked 25 on the Apple Podcasts Wilderness chart in Russia.
Yes, Russian wilderness, the market we've always wanted to capture.
Isn't it
That's my third favorite wilderness.
So welcome, comrades.
What is an H?
So I don't know why we're so popular in Russia, and that's not where all our listenership comes from. Exactly. But yeah, so thank you to all of you. This is episode 385 for podcast, if anybody's listening at home. Lots on the show tonight. Tonight, our topic is going to be, what movie do you watch to pump you up the night before a paintball game? A lot of good submissions that sent in. Joe, there was something happening on Go Sports this weekend. What do you know?
It was the first event of the World Cup, not World Cup, but Speedball in Kissimmee, Florida, and the winning team was Edmonton Impact, so the only Canadian team won the Pro Division. They beat Los Angeles Infamous 2-1, but Los Angeles Infamous went 4-0 on Friday, right up, so they had a good run. And Edmonton Impact was undefeated, but that's a pretty low-scoring game. And how do I know this? Because I secretly watch these scores on my phone to see what's happening in paintball.
There we go. And later on the show, Josh is going to tell you about all the latest and greatest airsoft news, and I'm going to fill you in on some scenario stuff. So,
what a time to be alive!
Sure.
No kidding. Beardy McBearderton in the live YouTube chat says it gets 15 hectares on a tank of kerosene, just in case you're wondering.
Well done. Well done, Beardy.
Wow, that was a deep Simpsons reference, but he got it. That was awesome.
That was good.
Yeah. Tim Montrester, the TM40 documentary has started. It premiered on April 20th. Make sure you guys head on over to paintball.media's Patreon page and check that out. You can also see the 13 episodes of the iconic paintball teams, as well as episode 2 just will be released on the 10th of May. That's in a week, just over a week now, so make sure you guys check that out. A couple other things real quick. Team packages, if you guys are thinking of competing this year, hit up Ruthless. They've got gold, silver, and bronze packages. So definitely check that out for all your swag needs this year. Joe, yes. On last week's episode, Jacob Palomino in the YouTube chat said Joe said something about not being able to have a paintball association during his vault segment. What was he referring to? I meant to ask you that before the show, so I didn't put you on the spot. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I said the company that we were purchasing our products from in 1984 was trying to put together a paintball field owners association, and it's been tried countless times throughout the years, almost 40 of them.
Every year at Paintball Extravaganza, it's brought up.
People try to form an association. There's never, and we've had no luck. So I stand by what I said, is that an association for paintball fields does not exist. Will it ever exist? Maybe, but Paintball Extravaganza is probably the closest thing we have to a global gathering of field operators, and people have tried in various countries, but to no avail.
Yeah. So we do watch your YouTube comments, ladies and gentlemen. I try to respond to as many of them as I can. This one also comes in. This one is from Aldi Nugra. I'm not sure what it says, but I'll translate it. It says that this is the best paintball podcast I have ever listened to, or something to that, loosely based.
He's only listened to one.
That's right. And where it says only adult with a link on it with hot girls, that's a different translation. Finley, the Finley Force, ladies and gentlemen. I talked to you guys a couple weeks ago. If you guys are a skateboarder, snowboarder, most likely you've heard of the Finley line. They're at most sporting stores. If you guys get an opportunity to give them a follow, Jimmy Finley is the founder, and also I know he's a skateboarder. I know he's a hat conglomerate, but he's also a paintballer. And I want to say thank you. He did send this week a custom Finley Force goggle strap that I've been waiting for. I saw them on Instagram and I thought they were the bee's knees. So thank you, sir. I'm going to put these on my goggles and post up a couple pics. And while I'm saying thank you to somebody, Mr. Jones from the UK. I don't know if I mentioned this on our 500th show, but he had sent this in. It's the copy of the Complete Guide of Paintball that was published in 1999. What a great read this is.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. If you guys get an opportunity, maybe when you guys come to the studio next, I'll let you peruse through it. Joe's probably already seen it, but if you guys haven't, it's a full color, I don't know, a couple 100-page long.
Telephone book almost.
Pretty much. And it also, 290 pages, and it has a glossary of all the paintball fields in the world at the time. So maybe Joe might find that. We're not, but they didn't put anything for Canada in it at the back of the book. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Not pre-internet, but paintball wasn't accessible at the time.
No,
on the internet.
No. I don't even think. Well, back in '99, there would have been some paintball magazines, I would say.
You reckon? Yeah. Action Pursuit games, Paintball Games International. Yeah, there was a lot of print media like that. But, podcasts such as this weren't even thought of at the time.
Podcasts weren't a thing. People were using chat
War
forums.
Pigs and chat forums.
Yeah. I hated chat forums. Like, good for PB Nation because that was a niche and we needed something like that. But all the local chat forums with people pissing on other people with no identity. At least Facebook, who's pissing on your.
We talked about that and how ugly and evil it was, right? Like keyboard warriors. That was the breeding ground because you had a screen name and that was it. Nobody knew who you were. Yeah. Right. And so you could say whatever you want. I mean, sometimes it worked great because those in the industry were able to say exactly what they felt about what was going on, regardless of who their employer was. Yeah. But it was no holds barred. It was really like the Wild West. It was pretty crazy. Yeah.
And thank you to Ryan McGee.
There's named Sharma.
Wargame was around back then. Absolutely. I'm trying to think of the name of the show because Wargame always reminds me of Ryan McDonald. He used to do a paintball show when just before we started. He started one. It was a live stream. Do you remember that, Gavin? For some reason, I think you remember.
Sorry, one more time. I was just
his name was Ryan McDonald. He and another guy put together a live stream show for paintball, but I can't remember who it was now. If someone can remember, please let me know. But they had started before us. We weren't the first one to do this, but it was around when War Pig had started. And I mean, how many years have we been doing this? Did we say 10 years?
Too many.
Yeah.
So it would have been probably 10, 11 years ago for sure.
I think it's old McDonald's son.
He had a farm.
He had a farm.
E-I-O. On his farm, he gave you guys some packages. Today I dropped off packages to everybody's house. Yeah.
Ding.
Why
don't you guys go ahead and open the manila envelopes? There's...
All right. What is your tool you're using this evening to open said envelope? Mine is a Spyderco Endura.
I have a SOG. Whoops.
All
I'm gonna
right.
use a surefire flashlight just because.
Just blunt force.
All right, that's fantastic. So I've got two.
So just let's talk about what's in the initial envelope
Is it
first.
an EMF 100?
Yeah, the micro version. I have one of these Exalt nipple covers. That's awesome.
I'm very, very pleased. I'm really excited about it, and it's an olive, so that's going to work for my scenario life.
Some of our lady viewers have sent in some requests and asked for you guys to put nipple covers on. So there you go. You've got them.
Done.
So yeah, open up the second one.
I got a question. If you think there's a nipple cover, how big do you think my nipples are?
I don't know. You've never shaven your sweater.
All right, second envelope.
Yeah, and this mail time segment's brought to you by Exalt Paintball today. Ed Evans sent these off this week for us.
Who's Flag Rangers?
Flag Rangers? That's Gavin's company to compete with Flag Raiders. Look at that, Tiger Stripe.
Where Sean started
goodness.
Flats Radius.
Oh, wow.
What are they, ladies and gentlemen?
Tiger Stripe masks.
Absolutely.
Oh, I thought it was a thong.
That's nice.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Exalt. Thank
Thank you very
and
much. That's awesome.
Yeah, it goes over your mouth, not your eyes, Zuby.
This is fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I think he heard us going on about Tiger Stripe, and here you go, ladies and gentlemen, a package that arrived from them. So there you go. Yeah. So moving on, we have lots to get to tonight. We have a vault segment from Joe. We have mail time. The topic that we're going to be talking about, which we want to get your opinion on, is movies to pump you up before you play paintball. We have some custom gear to get to, and Price is Right. So why don't we get to Vault, and we'll be right back.
Hey, it's Joe from Flaggers Paintball here with another segment of From the Vault, where we go back in history, back into the early days of paintball, and we look at something that I found in my vault, something that's cool, something that's neat, and today is no different. Let me show you what I have. So I was doing a little bit of tidying, because I do that, and I pulled out, this is a pretty rare piece. This is my WGP War Game product flag. So they've got the War Blade, the VF Tactical, which is my all-time favorite paintball shooter from Cocker, War Games. They have the Night Cask, I'll slide it over a little bit, Black Magic, Caner Kit, Outcast, and just the War Game, the WG, which is the Ranger. So anyway, this is my War Game product flag. I found another one, I had another one, and I sold it off to somebody, but this is my War Games flags. Thanks for watching Behind the Bunker, and From the Vault, we'll see you next time. Pew pew.
Audio Jungle.
Today.
All right, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to see more vaulty goodness, come back to our show every week. And Joe keeps pulling stuff out of his vault and videotaping it for you. So if you like that kind of thing, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Gavin, are you ready for some mail time? Because I'd like to maybe do that before we get into our topic tonight.
Sure, show, Todd. Let's go for it.
Mail time.
Mail time. Mail time. Mail time. The mail's here.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's mail time, my time to shine, where I get to rip open my sack and read some of the correspondence, ladies and gentlemen, that you, my friends, have sent in. Clearly, we're not friends because the sack is a little light this week. So in addition to reading the correspondence that have been already sent in, if you want to type anything in the chat you'd like to answer, please do so. So the first question comes to us from John Jones, and John wants to know, what is your routine leading up to a paintball event, and has this changed over time over your time of playing? What do you guys do before getting pumped up before an event?
While you guys are contemplating your answer, I just want to read a comment in the live YouTube chat. Beardy McBearderton says, can I just say that Joe says flag raiders so fast that for weeks I thought the field was called Flaggerdus Paintball. That's funny. Flaggerdus Paintball. So, Joe, you'll have to slow it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Flag
Just flag it. There's not everything else. Okay, so what is your routine leading up to an event? What do you guys do? Let's start with you, Zuby.
Me personally?
Okay, let's start with Joe then.
Well, no, sorry. I was reading the chat. I didn't know if you were talking about the comments that were sent or me personally.
You personally, yes.
For me, it's music in the morning. I try to go to sleep early the night before, so I'm not up watching movies or anything like that.
Has that changed over time? That was the second part of the question.
No.
Okay.
Really?
Josh, isn't that a song? Watching movies, an Ariana Grande song? Watching movies. Sorry.
I'm not familiar with that genre of music.
Gavin.
Oh, genre.
I'm leaving you all alone, my friend. You're just
fine.
dangling. All right, so it hasn't changed for Josh. How about you, Joe? You know, when you're going into a game, what's your prep, and has that changed over the years?
Just going over my gear, but I found that I have, as we progress, you end up taking more and more gear and more different varieties of gear and things like that. So then I, watch a movie, and you're constantly, texting people and trying to get everyone else organized as well. So there's a lot to do before anything.
And Todd, how about you?
Okay, when I started playing paintball, I was still working, and I was working at a nightclub. So for me, I can always sleep when I get home because I was getting home at 4 a.m. The only thing that changed was I didn't go to any after parties or anything. I just legitimately went to sleep because I knew the next day was going to be hairy. But I'll tell you, the first couple years of playing paintball, I would say definitely in the first couple years, I would make sure that my gear was meticulous. I would have it in my gear bag. I knew where everything was. I knew everything had fresh batteries. I knew where my fresh extras were. I had snacks packed. I had extra goggles. I had everything laid out. I knew where all my clothes was. I made sure that I laid everything out so I knew I was organized. And then I just got tired of doing it. I was still excited about playing, but my routine changed. Now I just kind of, when I'm done playing paintball, because I've played so many times, I put my gear back to where I get it from in my bag, and I zip it shut, and I know it's done. And if there's anything that has to be washed, then that gets pulled out. But most of my paintball stuff doesn't get washed on a regular anyways. So I think for me, it's not that I don't get as excited as I used to. I just don't do as much of the preparatory work. And when I get to the field, I know that if the battery in my hopper is dead because I forgot to put a new one in, it only takes me a second and I know I have extras. So for me, I guess I still do the same thing, but I just don't go to the extent I used to. I mean, one other topic we should talk about someday is how do you prep your gear? I mean, I used to take my egg loaders apart, even the screws and the lids and the springs, to clean them. I would take Q-tips, and my gun and my goggles and my loaders would be meticulously kept until I got shot for the first time that day. But now I don't care. I just kind of wipe it on my jersey and put it away kind of half dirty. I don't know. Is that kind of like you, Gavin?
Yeah, so for me, it's quite similar. So when I first, many years ago, started playing like big game scenario, even rec ball, I'd be so ridiculously excited. I would almost create a mannequin, laying everything out on the floor in terms of your pants, your pads, your shoe or your boots, your marker, like everything almost that you would need on the field, and then I would pack it like that just so I wouldn't miss anything. And I also remember being ridiculously excited that I couldn't sleep. Right? It's just like you're so excited to get the day started, and your mind is racing, your adrenaline's already pumping for your anticipation of a great day that you couldn't sleep. now I don't care. Right? It's just like, if I get there, I get there. I don't even set an alarm. If I wake up, fantastic. I'll roll to
But
the
I think
field,
we
right?
also know too. Like we used to get to the field at the crack of stupid and then wait because we knew. Like I used to play on Sundays, so I knew that if I got there at 8 o'clock in the morning, nobody else was going to show up until about 10 or 11. I'm talking like my friends and the regulars that I wanted to play with, not the rentals that were booked at 9 o'clock. So I started kind of edging in a little bit later too. Yeah, there's nothing worse than being the only guy sitting there on a picnic table with all your gear ready to play, and there's nobody there.
Or then you're waiting to for a big game. You're the first one there, right? But you don't take the field till 10 o'clock in the morning. So you've been there from 6, you're ready to go, and now what, right? So I think a little more salt in the pepper, longer in the teeth, right? We recognize, okay, we can take our time getting there.
Yeah.
The game will go. It may start. We may miss that, but we'll get there. So I think that is what's different in terms of prep. Yeah. I put less emphasis on it.
You're a little less salt in the pepper, by the way. Your comment on Facebook the other day, 90% of the people that commented on it didn't understand your reference.
No, not
but
at all.
it was fun to watch it.
That's okay. Yeah. That's okay. So I've noticed it because clearly we are still in a lockdown here in Ontario. Honestly, lockdown. And my hair is getting longer, and the longer it gets, the more salt that pops into the pepper. I'm like, damn, I'm getting old, right? I don't feel it, but I'm looking at it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Josh, go ahead.
I just wanted to clarify, Gavin. I knew exactly what you were talking about. I was just trying to be a guy.
Yeah, that's okay. Right? So some people missed it. Some people got it. I mean, that's okay. It happens. So speaking of some guy who gets it, Fergie PB wants to know, how often do you buy paintball?
Can't even get through your own question.
He's getting it. All right. So how often do you guys buy a new paintball mask? When is it a good time to sign, or a good time or sign that you need to get a new one? How often do you upgrade your spectacles?
I think he's talking to the wrong set of people for an answer for that.
I was going to say usually every Christmas.
But no, I mean, in all honesty, every time I see a goggle that I think is cool, I buy it because I like to have multiple goggles. I mean, we're all taking 2 or 3 pairs of goggles to a field. If it's going to rain, if it's going to be a sunny day, we're taking different goggles with different lenses. So we're probably the wrong people to answer this. Maybe guys in the live chat, you guys could do this for us. But if I see it, I don't get excited about goggles anymore because there's so many that get released. But every once in a while, I just had one that was a limited run, and there's a couple other companies that had some. So if I see one, I'll buy one. But I don't think if I look at any of my goggles that any of them are so worn out that the foam's falling off or the strap's worn out. I'm happy to buy goggles because I would rather have a brand newish, clean pair of goggles on my face. I don't know.
I'm going to answer that with one simple statement. I own goggles I forgot I owned.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I think I have one. I think I have at least one pair for every year I've been playing paintball.
I think we all have that favorite goggle that we wear that we really enjoy until we try one other of our other goggles that we have, and then we favor that one for 3 or 4 months, and then we find another goggle or we buy another goggle. I've never been loyal to a specific pair, other than I've been loyal to a couple companies, like my JTs and my V-Force. They've been my mainstay, and within those companies, I buy different colors and different variations. But
I've also completely and utterly given up on going by look and color.
Yeah,
I simply just go for whatever fits the best.
Yeah. But
whatever I'll feel comfortable with wearing for a whole day.
There has been some goggles that I went, wow, that is a really nice color, and that's what sold me on it. Gary Crest in the live chat says, no need to replace the whole mask, just replace the lenses every year or two. Yeah,
every year for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Bab Spisser says, I have more goggles than some have underwear. Come on, Bab, you wear underpants, not underwear.
Oh, Mr. Spisser. Spisser the pisser. That's fine.
Yeah.
For me, I think Gary said it appropriately in the chat. If you find a system that fits for you and it's comfortable and you love it, you don't need to upgrade every year that comes out. I know our sponsors are probably going to hate that, but that's okay. But as long as you're replacing the lenses at least once a season, sometimes even twice a season, depending on how close the impact is, I think that's all you need. So I've had my favorite pair of goggles for probably about 10 years. And as long as you replace the lenses every year and the integrity is still intact, then you don't need to upgrade or you don't need to look for something else.
But sometimes a pair of replacement lenses are almost 3/4 of the cost to a new pair, depending on sort of what you're buying. If you're just buying like a Proflex or something, right? But do yourself a favor. If you do buy a new lens, just make sure you take off the plastic on the front and on the inside of the lens before you hit that paintball field. Nothing says newbie more than a blue tint on the inside of your clear lens. Yeah. Spisser no pisser in the behind the bunker hot tub, he says.
That's right. That's the sign up on there.
Yeah, something tells me Bob raises that temperature of his hot tub by a few degrees every hour or so with what he drinks while he's in that hot tub. Oh well, Joe, you didn't respond to the question. How many? Are you replacing your goggles every year, or when are you replacing goggles?
I've been wearing the same mask probably for 2 or 3 years. I play like 3 or 4 hours on a Tuesday night, and I replace the lens usually once or twice a year when it gets scratched, or if I get a shot in the lens that makes any kind of divot, not a divot, but I'll replace the lens just for safety reasons.
But in your defense, what goggle are you using? You're using a V-Force, aren't you?
No, I have a V-Force. I flip-flop between my V-Force grill and I'm wearing I don't know what it's called. What's the company that makes the loader? The company that makes the loader. There's 4 companies that make. I don't know. Don't worry about it.
Wade in the chat says, "Don't buy a single pane lens." Absolutely, that's that's newbie material right there. Bab Spisser says, "Jesus, Joe, did you lose 20 pounds this month?" Probably.
You got a lot of steps in, that's for sure.
I got a lot of steps in. I was kind of busy moving the paintball field.
Wade says, "Are you talking Virtue?" Same with Dannon.
Virtue Axis. That's what I'm talking. I have a coyote brown one. I like color and I want it to match my camouflage, so that's what I wear.
Yeah. Robert Hansen says he's not a big fan of replacement foam. Replacement foam is for suckers. Just buy a new goggle. Then you have new foam, new lens, and you've got that new mask smell. Yeah. When you go to a paintball field, it usually has the smell of rotting paint and flesh. You might as well smell a nice new goggle lens.
No, that's the smell of rotting speedball, Todd.
Actually, you're not wrong.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. I think Axe has embodied the rotting paint smell from the corner of a speedball field and put it into one of their body sprays. So there you go. Anyone else have any more comments before Gavin cinches up his sack?
That's right. No, just look something in the chats or from the panel so we can cinch up the sack. And ladies and gentlemen, if you have... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Todd.
Sorry, I have one more video question. I apologize, Gavin. I meant to tell you. This one comes to us from Sean Leonard. This was on our on Facebook. He says, "What is the most common lost items that you guys have found at your field? What was the most unique?" I said last week we kind of we touched on this. Why someone left their underpants behind, I don't know.
Okay, I have. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I
thought you were going to claim them.
No, something came up in my news feed today. Speaking, Bab Spisser said something about underpants. You just talked about underpants, and there was a study done in Britain. They surveyed 2,000 men. And a quarter of British men fail to change their underwear every day and see nothing wrong with wearing the same pants twice, the survey revealed.
Same pants or same underpants?
Same underpants.
Okay.
There was like 8% said they wear them up to 10 times before they wash them.
Dear Jesus.
It was some crazy, but I remember, and there was some chit-chat about underpants, and I just thought I would throw that in. It's a study. If you Google British underwear study, that'll pop up.
I didn't realize England had so many Neanderthals.
So who's researching that, and why did that come up as a research topic? That's what
survey,
I want to know.
The company was called Men's Dirty Underwear. Truths were revealed in a survey by Mintel.
Oh, boy. Oh, Gavin, I heard you got a new job working for Mintel. Tell me about it.
Only
Don't tell,
only
actually.
78% of men slip on a new pair of pants in the morning in comparison to 95% of the women.
Well, look at that. I'm a 78%er.
Yeah.
Every day. After
Damn
every
Skippy.
day or after every shower. If I
I
didn't...
thought you were going to say after every shit.
No.
You
I
guys
use
can-
toilet
you
paper
guys
to wipe.
can-
I don't use my
You
underpants.
guys can read the study, but that's what I.
But okay, so here's the thing that
All
I...
due respect, Joe, I think I'll skip that one.
Yes, sir.
Here's the thing that
I'll
I
take
tell
your
all
word
my
for it.
younger male friends. If you guys find an article of clothing, whether it's shoes, socks, underwear, T-shirts, something that you find that's comfortable, buy multitudes of them. Right? Like I have the same sneaker because I've had it 3 times because I know they fit, they're comfortable, and I don't have to shop for them. Underwear, same thing. I've gone through different underpants, and I know that the ones that I'm wearing right now are the most comfortable that I've been able to find, so I bought 12 pairs of them, and that way I always have clean underwear. Same with my socks. I buy tons of them so that I never have to look for a matching one, and I only have 2 socks, one that I wear in the summer and one set that I wear in the winter, and they're long and short, and they're all black. Never have to worry about it. And you know what?
What kind of socks I wear, Todd?
That's a darn tough question.
I know.
Sure, it is.
There you go.
See, I spend $80 on a bale of socks. Joe spends $80 on 2 pairs of socks.
But they're guaranteed for life.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's true.
I just sent 4 pairs. I just sent 4 pair of socks, 3 pair of mine and 1 pair of Meg's, and they sent me 4 new pair of socks. Replaced it with new models because they were threadbare.
Newest models.
But it's true. I mean, like, okay, so you can spend your
Joe does the red
40
carpet in his newest, latest darn tough socks.
So
Sorry.
You can
Damn
spend
right.
your $40 in your sack of socks, right? That they're going to wear thin. You're going to toss them out.
Ah.
Versus $40 on a good quality pair of socks, and then they're guaranteed for life. So you can retire. These are retirement socks, and you can
Yeah.
send them in, and they'll come back. I'm telling you, invest
Yeah.
in a good pair of socks.
Listen to you people. Retirement socks.
We all have...
They're socks.
See, we behind the bunkers our part-time
Socks.
job, and we've got sock money. So there you go,
right.
ladies and gentlemen.
But it's a good investment. You'll never have to buy another pair again. I'm telling you. Spend the money on darn tough.
Yeah.
Investment socks. That's something I know.
All right, listen.
challenge-
I don't want to.
yes,
I don't want to
no.
preach, and I don't want to tell you guys something, but I'm going to tell you something important to me. Planet Eclipse, guys. Did you know that they have more underpants, more championships, new mechanical markers, new electronic markers? Hey, new territory, including the new MagFed division. Get Planet Eclipse, ladies and gentlemen, and take on the world. And look at that beautiful EMEC in that picture.
When the world's greatest players, photographers, sock wearers, and expected parents need the best coverage, most vivid colors, biggest selection, they pull the tab on an EG product. Hashtag Pop Smoke. Now, EG has new packaging coming out for their smoke in North America, in the individually boxed smoke, and they've changed the formulation, so you'll get more vividness, more smokiness, and more awesomeness.
Lisa Weaver
have
wants to
neon
know,
smoke.
Joe, if you need new jeans yet.
I do need some jeans from Target, but I think I can eke through, Lisa. If the border doesn't open in 2 months, I'll get you to get me a pair of jeans from
you
Target
not-
and mail them up.
Do you not have a Costco membership?
Nope, they have to be Levi Denzines. I got some from the Walmart the other day, but they're just not quite the same.
Lisa,
Costco
what we
sells-
really need is some Trader Joe's
We need
Co-
stuff.
Hang on a second.
Oh, boy.
Costco sells men's jeans with stretch in them.
yeah, my jeans all have
Yeah.
stretch.
Oh, okay.
You know who else sells stuff? Air Ups.
Yeah.
Thick welded seams, stainless steel hardware, multiple color options makes Air Ups the #1 choice for inflatables on and off the field. They're made in America by Brett Davis and his crew. Make sure you hit up airups.com.
Dreams in Joe's jeans fade, but ruthless paintball products, colors, sublimation, and craftsmanship never die. On or off the field, Ruthless keeps you fresh. Use the promo code BTB15 for 15% off your order.
Fresh like a new pair of underpants.
Adapt, create, and win. Exalt is in our blood. Make your game boil, get Exalt with the exceptional nipple covers and face masks.
Oh boy, they're available worldwide. From the beginning, when you'd stumble down a rocky cliff or waded chest deep through a mosquito-infested bog wearing your darn tough socks and your jeans from Target with stretch. Now, whether you're sliding into the snake or running and gunning, GI Sports has the gear for you. Now with the Stormer, Basic, Elite Tactical. Boom.
DLX Technologies, ladies and gentlemen, true industry innovators with some of the lightest, fastest, and sleekest hardware in paintball. DLX has the power to get to the podium, and boy, oh boy, that's where you want to be. Ladies and gentlemen, I have to go back to the Air Ups read here. Do you guys see the Air Ups bunkers that were manufactured there?
Yep.
Dan Blazarian,
man
one
in
of
the
the
world.
biggest influencers on Instagram today, has his own Air Ups field in his backyard at his Las Vegas ranch. And you know who he chooses to take care of him? That handsome fellow Brent at Air Ups Bunkers. So, yeah, good for him. As I said, I wanted to go and deliver them for him, but I wasn't allowed. Was not allowed. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on. Tonight's topic, and we're going to watch you guys in the live chat. Tonight's topic is, let me see if I can find it here. Sorry, Matt. Here it is right here. What movie do you watch to pump you up before playing a day of paintball? And that could be scenario paintball. It could be regular paintball. It could be tournament paintball. But we will ask you guys on all of our social media channels to answer the question, and you guys did on both Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. And also, we're going to be watching you guys live. For those of you that are watching us tonight on YouTube or Facebook, you can post in the live chat, and we'll try to get to your comments. If you're watching us on Facebook, guys, hit that like and share button, or even just comment. Just let us know where you're watching us from. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit that like button. Hey, even drop a comment. We are trying to watch. We've been busy chitter-chattering, but now is the time for you guys to shine. This is your part of the show. So tell us, ladies and gentlemen, what movie do you watch to help pump you up the night before an event? You guys all have social media sheets. Let's start with Josh. What do you have on your sheets there? Did you go to your mailbox today?
I did go to my mailbox today. I passed by it when I came home from work, so that was
Which
good.
was like 10 minutes
Alex
ago.
Lawson 86 says the first Predator movie, which, let's admit, is the only Predator movie.
Do you know I've never seen Predator?
Oh, you probably should.
Is it a must,
Rainer
though, or is
and-
it just like a...
The first one's okay.
Yeah.
I would say it's a must for, like sort of 80s or sorry, 90s nostalgia for sure.
Okay, but if
think
I
it
haven't
gets
seen it,
culturally-
should I take the time
Yes.
to go back? Really?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cheesy.
It's
It's
a
cheesy,
genre
but you
that
have
should
to.
be watched.
And the special effects will be like kind of a little cheesy, but it's like
The CGI?
We
Yeah.
we were in Mexico once, and we went up to Miss Maloya, and they filmed Night of the Iguana. Then we went further into the jungle where they filmed part of the movie Predator.
Was
And
that in not Cancun? It was in Puerto Vallarta.
Puerto Vallarta?
Yeah, I was
saw
there
that
too.
in Puerto Vallarta. Then you go out. Then you go out to Miss Maloya where they filmed Night of the Iguana. Then you go up into the mountains, and we rented this Jeep that didn't have 4-wheel drive. We were driving through the mountains. You had to go through a couple remote villages to get to this site where they filmed Predator. And as we were driving away, we ran over these kids that were playing. Their ball was in the road, and we killed probably the only ball. It was accidental. We killed the only ball probably for 300 miles.
Thank you for clarifying. You killed the ball.
yeah. I
ran
was
over
like,
the
where's
ball.
this story going?
He's part of the
Slowed down and the
78%.
ball rolled out
This is
into the
getting
road. It was
sad really
It was
fast.
like Wilson, and then we crushed it by accident, and we got out. But that's yeah.
Senior Joe, you're not welcome back.
That was in the 90s.
In reference to Predator, who is it? Bob Spisser says, take a gummy first if you're going to watch it. Marlon says you need to watch Predator. And Steven says it's one of Arnold's greatest. But that's really not a... I mean, if you're going to say Arnold Schwarzenegger's greatest movie was Predator, what other one would even come close?
Let's save it on the after show. Arnold's top hits.
There you go.
All right. Austin Bennett says Saving Private Ryan. Yeah, for sure.
You got a couple of those.
Larp P and Paintball says anything from Vietnam, the Vietnam Wars.
Yeah.
Yep.
Jarek Skibo says Band of Brothers for World War II scenarios.
Yeah.
Hancock Powers just says anything violent gets him going.
There you go.
All right.
That's the genre. What is it? Type in Netflix violent.
Lisa
Mike-
Weber's getting banned from the live chat. She says Kindergarten Cop.
Mike Grizzly Grub, Kelly's Heroes includes a 75 millimeter paint round from a Sherman. Remember the 250 caliber paintballs they had at they demonstrated GI had, or it was Empire at the time.
Yeah.
Had at World Cup. That was kind of cool. You want me? I have a few on my list here. Charles Holton, Heartbreak Ridge, The Magnificent Seven, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Ragnar Blackmane, which is Sean McNamara, 13 Hours in Benghazi. I've got a lot of Nick Spartan, Black Hawk Down.
I recently rewatched Black Hawk Down, or at least some scenes from it. That was a really well done movie.
We did a wicked scenario. Justin CZ, Black Hawk Down, Richie Rampey, Tears of Sun, and Dave Generou. I watched Red Dawn when we have a big game at Flag Raiders. Devin Swartz watches 300. So those are those.
You mean Flag Radius?
Flag Radius.
So Tony Von Ron said he watches Push. So I'm curious
there you go.
Who watches paintball movies versus...
Push is one of the best paintball movies ever, I would say.
Because I had 3 or 4 people post Push as well, and I was like racking my brain going, what the heck is Push?
What was the name of that movie that you guys forced me to watch a couple months ago? We discussed it on the show. Where that guy from the UK came over and helped that team to win.
5-1. Yes. I think it was Splat, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Splat.
Was that right? Yeah.
Oh, that's a movie you don't need to watch, ladies and gentlemen.
That's Damage.
Yes.
Oh, I'm glad I watched it, but I really would like my hour and a half back.
So Richard Knott also said John Wick. Yeah.
There's a couple of those.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
John Jones, I'm not sure if he's ever played paintball before because he said A Clockwork Orange.
Well, if you want a violent movie,
I guess he's looking for ultra violence. He's, yeah, I guess. Raider MTB says Ghost in the Shell, the anime, not the crappy movie. I don't know if anybody else is going to get that one, but I thought it was quite funny. Got one. Randy Schultz says Blackballed.
Yeah. Robert in the live chat says Splat was a bad movie. I hope you didn't listen to us and watch it. I remember asking all of you guys to watch it with us.
Terrible.
Yeah, it was.
Jason Kerr says not got time in the morning before. Mostly just music on the way. We're generally talking about the night before, Jason.
Yeah. That's another subject.
Get up early to watch a movie before you go to a big game.
Yeah. What do you listen to on the day of the game to pump you up? That would be another question. I know Joe's going to say Night of the Rocks, or not Night of the Roxbury, but what was the theme for that song?
What, Flight of the Valkyries?
No.
Oh, all I can imagine is this side head.
Yeah.
And he breaks the car window.
Yeah. All right.
So
anyway,
Carl Stadnick says, "Come on, guys! If you need to watch a movie to get you up for paintball, maybe you should have stayed home."
It's more so just to get you in the mood. It's not really to pump you up, I guess. But yeah.
And Wade Boutelier in the chat says, "Yes. What is love? That's
it. Thank you.
Yes.
My 90 club days."
Yes.
Yeah. We're gonna touch base. We're gonna touch on this, and no spoilers. But we had a bit of an argument before the show tonight. There's a new movie on Amazon Prime called Without Remorse, and I saw Wolf posted on the live on his Facebook feed about how great it was. And my wife and I were looking for something to watch the other night, and I said, "Well, what about this new Tom Clancy thing? It's got to be good. Let's give it a watch." You guys liked it. You guys thought it was great. I thought it was good, but it was the most unrealistic movie I've ever watched. But then my wife reminded me of all the Mission Impossible movies and how unrealistic those were. And it's like, okay, I'll give you that. And it really wasn't that bad. I mean, it was a shoot 'em up kind of movie, but I mean, the guy should have been Aquaman in that movie. There was I'm not giving it away, but there was 2 water scenes that were a half an hour of the movie that he didn't take a breath. I mean, if you rewatch it again, it's pretty brutal. But again, Mission Impossible and any of the others any of the other movies are doing things that are completely farcical. But it was good. It was good.
There was a lot of water play.
Yeah.
What movie was it?
Without Remorse.
Oh, I don't remember talking about that.
Yeah. You didn't? Have you not seen this movie yet, Josh?
No.
Gavin, you saw it. You had said
yeah.
before the show. Yeah. I'm referring to when he was in the airplane and at the end of at one of the last scenes. But oh wow, what do you guys watch? Josh, night before a paintball event, you're getting pumped up.
I generally have some type of Vietnam kind of war movie just playing in the background while I pack my stuff up. It's not like I sit down and intently watch anything.
Do you lay back on your bed and watch the ceiling fan spin?
Yeah, it's my ceiling poster of Jennifer Aniston, but yeah. My wife does not approve.
No, I guess she wouldn't. Yeah. Joe, what about you?
Again, movies I like to watch. Apocalypse Now is a little long to watch the night before. I don't have that much time usually. Bat 21's a good action movie. Zero Dark 30 also. If you guys in the States can get it, we can't get it, but I did have it recorded. SEAL Team 6 Hunt for Bin Laden is pretty neat. A little bit of planning, a little bit of strategy, some action, so that was decent. Those movies.
Dan and Hardy
You can get away with waking up in the morning and just watching the boat scene.
That's true.
What is it, Boat Team 4 or SEAL Team 4? I think is the ones in the boats where they come in and just decimate everybody with the miniguns. That'll get you going in the morning.
That's a good wind up.
Yeah. Dan and Hardy in the live chat. I'm going to have to disagree. He says any Steven Seagal type of movie. Speaking of not being realistic. Yeah, no, that's true. Angry Canadian Gamer says, I just listened to heavy metal music before I go play paintball.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Under Siege, says Dan and Hardy. Full Metal Jacket, says Lisa Weber. There you go. So lots of good options. Gavin, what's a go-to movie for you?
Nothing at all, right? I don't look at movies and like, okay, I'm going to go play, right? So usually if we're hosting an event where the players party the night before, shaking hands and making sure people are happy and getting acquainted with the area. If I'm visiting an event, no, nothing at all. I hate to be a downer on this topic. It's just regular TV, flip it and whatever I want to watch, right? Nothing's going to get me pumped. The adrenaline rush happens when the horn blows and the game goes, right? So, I don't need anything to pump me up.
Normally, you're right. We're the ones working the big games, and to be honest with you, I try to watch something that's familiar that will just put me to sleep. Something I've seen 10 times before so that I can actually calm my nerves and get her done. Bob Spisser says, I used to watch YouTube videos of Die Damn being teched. Yeah, there you go.
Do some nice light reading before you go to bed and read Heart of Darkness.
There you go.
That usually works.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, should we...
Joseph Conrad, yeah, I get it.
Okay. All right.
Should we move on, or have we... For some reason, I feel if Matt was here, he'd be shaking his head and tapping his watch. So let's...
That's only if we're talking about COVID. So.
Let's move on. First of all, I want to
say
say thank you to all of you guys that have been downloading our podcast. Again, aside from all of our new Russian friends, I don't know where all of our numbers are coming from. I see they're coming from North America as well as Brazil and UK are still our top three. But everyone, like, where, I don't know if you're referring it, if you're sharing it, or how people are finding it, but we don't get an opportunity to interact with all of our podcast listeners because they just download us and listen to us. They don't really answer questions or do anything. But if you guys are listening to us on a podcast, specifically iTunes, you can rate us, but send us an email through any of our social media forums and just let us know that you're watching, where you're watching, or you're listening, and where you're listening from, and who you like better, Gavin or Zuby. We all know who the truth is there, but pick one.
And for those listening on podcast, Gavin is pointing to himself.
Josh is just sitting there smugly. I don't need to go after your attention.
Nope. I'm good.
Nope.
There you go.
I'm on my own.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Why don't we have prices right? We have some custom gear, but I think we're gonna leave that for tonight.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or would you like to get to it, Josh?
Well, as long as we're not playing prices right. No, that's fine.
All right. Well, let's leave it.
Let's go to the after show so we can talk about food.
There we go. Sounds good. So here's what we're going to do, guys. If you're watching us on Facebook, we're going to say goodbye to you. If you're watching us on YouTube or listening to us as a podcast, don't go anywhere. We're not going anywhere. We're just saying goodbye to our Facebook friends, and then we're going to continue to broadcast and record for our podcast. So thank you to Joe, Gavin, and Josh in the live Zoom room. And if you guys were watching us on Facebook, hit us with a like and share on your way home. And we'll see you guys next week.
Don't be a freeloader. If you liked what you hear, make sure to hit the share button below. Also follow us on our social media outlets like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, ICQ, and now MySpace. If you want to join the conversation, post your comments and we might read them on the show.
All right. So thank you, guys. If you guys are still seeing us, that means you're watching us live on YouTube, or you guys are listening to us on our podcast. As you know, last week and the week before, Gavin kind of got mad at me. But I did it again, Gavin, and I hate to tell you this.
That's every day, jackass. Let's get to it.
On Saturday, was celebrating my first day off in a long time, and my wife and I thought, you know what, we haven't done this in a while. Let's call or let's order some popcorn, movie theater popcorn from the movies.
Oh, good God.
And I sure as shit did. I got myself a couple of bags of popcorn from the theater, some Fruitopia.
Got myself a garbage bag of popcorn.
And that was the night we watched Without Remorse. But I just wanted to tell you that what a great experience from Skip the Dishes. Came promptly. The popcorn was fluffy and buttery, and it was delicious.
I have no idea what your investments are doing right now, but clearly they're doing quite well.
But think about
popcorn.
it. When was the last time you went on a night out? When did you go spend your money on a movie, a night out at for dinner? When did you go to a store and just frivolously buy something because you were wandering around and saw something cool? When did you pay for travel? You have more you have more walking around cash than you've ever had before, don't you?
Okay, well, no, I don't. I have less because I have sleep issues, and every night I'm waking up and buying shit off Amazon.
Are you really?
Yeah. It's like all these boxes show up. It's like, oh, what did I order? Yeah.
But there's nothing more satisfying than going to the door and seeing an Amazon box sitting there, even if you forget what you ordered.
Yeah,
and it could be an extension cord. It could be a charger brick. Like, it doesn't matter what it is.
Having one day where you don't get home and go, oh, we spent more money. And the porch is empty.
Yes. But it's a mystery box, right? I mean, you're sleep deprived and like, oh, I need this.
Yeah.
2 o'clock in the morning, you're ordering stuff. Right?
Amazon should have a $5 mystery box button.
They have mystery boxes.
Just go on, click the mystery box.
They actually do have mystery boxes. You can buy a mystery box. Yeah. And there's,
that's awesome.
I'm sorry for those who are listening abroad, but there is a couple of cities in Canada, in Ontario, where returns, they buy massive lots of returns, still sealed in envelopes, and you spend $10 for mystery bags.
I've been thinking about buying an Amazon skid because
Really?
they have companies that you can order them from, and they basically just package up full skids, and they're still in boxes, so you don't know what it is, and you buy a skid on sight unseen. The delivery is free. You just pay for whatever you. And some skids will go for $50. Some will go for like hundreds or thousands of dollars. But I would buy a $50 or $100 skid just to have that Amazon thing, a skid of it arrive at my house, and then go through random boxes of crap that someone bought on Amazon and returned.
It could be AirPods. It could be a watch. You never know.
Well, the last guy I saw do that, he had like this rainbow LED lit keyboard, right? That's worth $150. That alone would have paid for his entire skid. And then there was like charger cords and hair curlers and stuff like that. But I mean,
you use chapstick too, right? Ah, damn.
Well, yeah, you just cut it off and keep using it. Yeah. No, I'm a big proponent of Amazon, and I haven't ordered anything in a while, but it is nice. But I will tell you something. I have something that's on a reoccurring order. It's a grocery item, and once a month I get a box of those, and then I don't have to buy them from the grocery store. It's also a hard to find item, so for me, I know it comes, and it's not that expensive, but my cupboard always has it in, and it's like I'm down to my last 3 or 4, and then I look at my Amazon cart, it's like, oh, it's coming next week. It's like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah. I get my honestly, I get my Vegemite through Amazon, and that's
Do you really?
I think that's the only food item I actually buy from Amazon. Yeah.
We get recurring household cleaning things on a schedule, and kitty litter for Juan Carlos. Kitty.
It's a really good idea to put your furnace filters on reoccurring.
Yeah,
every
there you
3
go.
months. That way,
That's
when
a
they show
brilliant
up,
idea.
you change it.
Okay, and I'm going to tell you something since you said this. Sarah Engler, she on her Facebook page posted, "This might just be the best avocado toast I've ever made. Beer, bread, butter, Vegemite, and avocado, and everything bagel seasoning." That's just so wrong. And the picture's like this green slime goo on it.
Yeah, I saw it. And you know what the first thing that went through my mind was?
Better not be delicious.
That's a lot of work for a piece of toast.
True.
Yeah. But I mean, I can think of 10 other things I'd rather put on my toast than Vegemite.
How about like
No.
just margarine?
It is a great way to start the day. I mean, like almost every day. I promise you, it's started with Vegemite.
Yeah.
It's
I have
salty
oatmeal.
goodness. Yeah.
Bob Spisser wants to know if my reoccurring item in my Amazon cart is edible underwear. Yes, because I fall into the
could just see
78%.
You could just see Todd, hey, my cupboard's getting low. Oh, look, it's coming soon.
And you better eat that every day.
My
Because if
underwear
you
drawer
if
is
you
getting
reuse
low.
If you reuse that, Todd, we're not friends anymore.
Now, I order edible underwear strictly for the comfort. It just fits
Less
me.
chafing.
Yes, it hugs me in the places I want to be hugged. Oh, Bobby Dow says corn is cheap, by the way. Not when you get it from Cineplex Odeon.
Okay, I know you say it's a treat, and you did that, but I can't wrap my head around the idea of getting delivery popcorn. I really
Yeah, you
can't.
lost me.
Like,
Totally
at
lost.
all. And delivery movie theater popcorn, which is the most expensive popcorn in the free world.
All right,
Why?
listen here, jerkass.
Why?
You go
Like,
to
I
a
mean,
pub and you'll spend $8 on a pint of beer when you can go to the beer store and get it for half that price, right?
Okay, if there's
So we're
craft
both
beer-
suckers to that degree.
No, okay. I will gladly spend $8 for a pint versus $30 for popcorn that Orville Redenbacher has already perfected for the microwave. What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, but my popcorn was popped by a pimple-faced teenager who probably dropped half of it and hacked in it. You can't pay for that.
Okay, can I ask you to do the same thing? I'm asking you the next time you do it, save the bag, like shake it out,
Okay.
save the bag, do microwave popcorn, put it in the bag, and
It's not as yellow.
do the delivery popcorn, and then do a taste test. Like I'm telling you, oh dear God, you're
But-
spending your money recklessly,
Gavin,
ridiculously.
Gavin, you have to remember, Todd got a really good point. It's made by some pimply face kid, and you can't pay for that.
No.
But you can overpay for it.
Yeah, when was the last time you paid $40 to go to the theater just to have your seat kicked in the back? At least this way I'm sitting on my own couch, but yet
If you need that experience, I will come over. I will kick the back of your couch.
Wait, where are your children? They kicking the couch for you?
hopefully asleep by that hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can one up Todd on the ordering popcorn from the movie theater.
Uh-oh.
I was in Subway today, ordering a sandwich for lunch, and sitting on the counter, right where the the delivery service pickup thing is, they've got this little tray and it's got numbers on it, right? So the guy comes in and he gives a number and he takes the order and off he goes. And on this tray is an orange bottle of Fanta and 2 Cokes. And the DoorDash guy pops in the door and he's like, I got order whatever. And the guy goes, here you go. And he puts them in a bag. And the guy goes, just the 3 drinks? And he's like, yeah. Someone ordered 2 Cokes and an orange Fanta delivery from DoorDash. Someone paid that. They probably paid more for the delivery than they did for the 3 drinks.
Wow.
I swear my neighbors get skipped the dishes every day, multiple times a day.
Yeah.
No, that's like me.
I was driving to go get propane today, and I saw a delivery guy walk across the street with a large brown bag with handles, and I thought it looked familiar, and it was the Starbucks bag. Some girl was standing in the doorway waiting for the delivery guy to deliver her a large bag of Starbucks.
Yeah.
I could never see myself ordering Starbucks from a Skip the Dishes. I don't know.
No, but
people were
popcorn
doing
makes
that
sense, all right?
extravaganza.
Popcorn
Like,
makes sense, right? But not Starbucks.
It
Yeah.
sure
All right,
does.
thank you.
It also
People
came
were
with
doing it
Fruitopia.
People were doing it at extravaganza, but they were ordering like 6 or 7 drinks at once, and that kind of makes sense.
That makes sense.
Okay, that's different. At a trade show, you can't leave the floor to go out.
But
right?
she
So
also
it's
lived a
just
block and a
one,
half
like-
away from a Starbucks, so that's not justified. And you can go through a drive-through, and I think you can still walk into a Starbucks right now.
You can go into a Starbucks and get your
Yeah, so there you
get a
go.
coffee.
There you
Coffee's
go.
okay, but it's not that good.
Yeah. But Skip the
I hate-
Dishes is
I hate
good.
Starbucks, by the way.
But Skip the Dishes, Uber Eats, all those call-in places are great. If you're working and you don't want to take the time and stop and drive somewhere, you order it, takes 5 minutes, and then it arrives, you stop working, you eat, you go right back to work. Sometimes that's worth it. It's like gas. Like we've got this local company that brings me gas. I had it delivered today. I was on empty. My wife's truck was on empty. We were both at home, but I didn't have to go to the place to refuel, right? So they came to the house. I paid for my gas and it was done. Sometimes convenience is
much is
worth
it?
it. It's usually about
actually
two.
cheaper.
It's about 2 cents cheaper than actually going to the the pump station.
Really?
Yeah, it is well worth it. If you guys live near us in Cambridge, Kitchener, Waterloo, there's a company called Refuel, and I'm sure there's lots of companies in your local area. Just do a Google search for it. They have an app, much like Uber Eats or Skip the Dishes, and
Now,
you get your fuel.
do they deliver multiple octane levels, or is it?
Yes, they have regular and they have the higher one. And because I had 2 vehicles in my driveway, I basically in the note said, please fill both vehicles. And it was done. But again, Bob was asking how much is it. I don't know how much the premium was.
Gas is usually a couple cents a liter cheaper.
Yeah. So they're good. Joe and I both use it. We use it for our field as well because, again, they come, they fill our trucks, they fill our jerry cans, and it's cheaper and we don't have to leave. I know it sounds like a luxury thing, like Gavin ordering popcorn from the movie theater, but it's a luxury that's well worth it. Yeah. And you can get premium.
Well, we would spend a half an hour on a day going to get gas and propane and stuff, so I moved my head out of the way.
But you can't really call it a luxury if you're paying even less than going to the pump like a regular peasant does.
Yeah. But it's the same reason why a lot of people have these propane services too, where you just take your propane tank, drop it off, and get a new one. Right? You don't you own a tank, but it's a virtual tank, and you take one and So Dan and Hardy says he lives in Texas and they all have oil wells in their yards. So
Awesome.
comes out of your hose spigot. There you
Well,
go.
they have their kitchen sink has hot, cold, and oil.
So there, I know I don't think Texas is it, but there's certain states where you can't even pump your own gas.
Yeah, New
Oregon
Jersey's
is
like
one.
that.
Yeah, so there has to be an attendant who does it. So that this may work as well. Yeah, it's quite convenient. It's not a luxury, as Josh pointed out. I mean, because it's cheaper, right? So it's economical to do it, and it saves time.
And you order it wherever your vehicle is. So if you're at work or you're at home, like when you order it, they know where your vehicle is. So, you go into work in the morning, put an order in. And by the time you've left for work, you look down at your dash, you got a full tank of gas, and you didn't have to do anything. I don't know. It's well worth it.
Will Crook from Mad Frog is apparently in Oregon right now for Super Game.
Yep.
And he's ticked off because they of course they don't let you pump your own gas there. And he said the attendant filled up his bus and then walked away with his gas cap.
Oh, nice.
Those caps for buses are not cheap. Well, at least they are in Canada. I don't know about the United States. They might be pennies for all I know.
Yeah. Well, he's got that Mad Frog dollar, right? So.
That's right.
That's school bus money.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's what you get with the after show here at Behind the Bunker. We're probably going to end the show now because it is starting to run a little bit late. Do a little research in your area. Maybe you have a company like that. But either way, support local businesses because it definitely helps. Thank you, Gavin, for being on the program tonight, sir.
Always great to be here, folks, and we appreciate your ears for listening to the podcast and the after show. Make sure you share the show, spread the joy, whatever you need to do to let other people know what you do on a Monday night.
Yeah. Joe Kimson from Flag Raiders Paintball.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight to beautiful Behind the Bunker and the after show. We'll see everybody next week, Monday night at 8 p.m. If you get an opportunity, tell a friend.
Yeah. And I just heard it because when I introduced you, I said Flag Raiders. So I do, yeah, I understand where he's coming from. And Josh Zubizabrickus.
Yeah, thank you. And don't forget, folks, to help control your local airsoft population, have your local airsofters spayed or neutered. And
Dwayne King gets the last comment of the night. He says, tonight's podcast brought to you by socks, underwear, and the letters S, P, L, A, and T. Do not watch the movie Splat. Even though we told you several episodes ago to do it, don't watch it. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Todd Ansich. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week.